Hello friends, a warm welcome to Family Recipe Ghar. Today let's learn how to make pav at home. So these are the ingredients. I have taken 3 cups of maida, as you can see, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 tablespoon of vegetable oil, any oil will do, or olive oil, 2 teaspoons of sugar, 2 teaspoons of yeast, and 1/4 cup of warm water where you can comfortably dip your hand. Don't let it be too hot, otherwise it's not suitable. This water is needed to soak our yeast for it to ferment along with sugar. So first, the water is warm enough. I am going to add my 2 teaspoons of yeast in it, and then the salt, and then give it a good mix and let it stand for about 10 minutes or till it gets frothy. And I repeat, please do not use the solution if the yeast does not ferment or gets frothy. You need to discard it and start all over again. So that is the most important thing in bread making. Yeast has to really froth and become foamy. I'll show you how it happens in about 10 minutes. Let us stand this now. I have mixed it well. The yeast that I had taken was dry yeast. Keep this yeast solution in a warm place or in your OTG till it ferments. Into the 3 cups of maida or 450 grams of maida, I am going to add the 1 teaspoon of salt and then give it a good mix, just like this. And then in the center you make a well like this for us to pour our yeast solution, which should have fermented. It has really fermented very well. See, it has activated beautifully. Look at all the foam. Now I'm going to just mix it up in the well that I had made here. I'm going to give it a quick stir and then pour it in the center and give it a good mix. After pouring the yeast mixture, fermented yeast, make this dough beautifully soft and pliable. Give it a good mix and knead it well. You can see that my dough has come together beautifully. Now I need to remove this and put it on the counter or the workstation, on a clean workstation, and then knead the dough for about 8 to 10 minutes. The more you knead, the better the pav will be. Yes, your arms will ache. You need to work up the dough till then, just like this. You need to hold it with one hand. Since I am shooting, I need another hand to hold my camera. So just hold this portion and then just pull it like this. Push it like that. Add about 1 tablespoon of oil. 2 teaspoons is 1 tablespoon. And then continue kneading. After 15 to 20 minutes of kneading the dough, the gluten has formed. You can see that it's stretching as much as I push it. I pull it and it's going to the extent of being transparent, but it won't tear. Gluten is formed and the kneading is done. Now lift it up. It is not sticking to my hand. You can see it's beautifully pliable and elastic. That's all because of the gluten. Now we just tuck all the dough under the ball like this. You need to seal it like this beautifully, and then grease the pan, the vessel in which we had made the dough, on top and bottom, all over. Grease the dough also with oil and then tuck it beautifully like this and place it. Cover it with a clean cloth like this, or cling wrap it and put it in a warm place. You can keep it in your OTG or in a hot box like how I show now. I have a hot box like this in which I place the dough fully covered. This is lined with thermocol, as you can see. So it will maintain the temperature and the dough will rise faster. 1.5 to 2 hours. I'll just remove the dough from the hot box and let's see how the yeast has proven. Let's open. Lift it. Let's open it. Wow, look at that. It's tripled in size. Now the yeast has really proved very well. Let's punch back the air and deflate it. Look at that. Beautifully proven. Let's punch back all the extra air that's incorporated in it. And you can see that since we have oiled the tin, it's not even sticking to the tin. Beautifully coming out. Now let's sprinkle some maida and then knead it again for about 2 minutes. Now let's sprinkle some maida on the counter and then just knead it. Beautifully tuck it underside. Turn it over and we have a beautiful loaf kind of dough. Now we are going to divide this. We'll divide this dough into 12 equal portions. We'll get 12 pav out of this. So first we'll make it into half. Keep this aside. Roll this a little. I have again rolled it into a beautiful loaf kind of. Now out of this dough we'll make 6 pavs. So in the center and then 1, 2, 3. Similarly this side also. In the meanwhile I have my baking tray ready. I have just applied butter and dusted it with maida and shaken off the extra maida and kept it ready. We'll lift these individual balls and tuck them inside like this beautifully. And then like this, round it off and then place it on our tray. Leave some gap at the sides because it's going to increase in volume again. Similarly, we'll continue with the rest of the dough. All the doughs are turned into balls and beautifully kept and arranged in the baking tray. Now we need to prove this for the second time. But please note that you need to gap them, space them out at the sides, both the sides and the third and fourth side. So when they again increase in volume, the spacing will be fine and they'll be fully bloomed. So let's cover this again and keep it for half an hour to proof. Now I'm going to put it in my oven. Oven is not on but it will be warm, so I'm going to place it inside. After half an hour, I'm going to remove my pav dough from the OTG. I'm preheating my OTG for 10 minutes now. Let's check out on our pav again. Wow, look at that. They've already bloomed well. They've proved well. So now we will milk wash them. Just take about 2 teaspoons of milk and then just brush them with this. This avoids the cracking of the pav on top when it is getting baked, and it imparts a beautiful brown color also to the finished pav. So let's finish with the rest of them. I'm done with all of them. OTG is now ready. I'll open the dough, put the pav inside, always on the center rack, remember that, and in the center, close it and bake it for 20 to 25 minutes at 200. You get a beautiful golden brown crust on top of the pav. Please note that pav can also be made in a kadai like this. You need to have a heavy bottom kadai. Put around 2.5 to 3 cups of salt at the bottom. Place a wire rack or a stand like this. Any rack will do. And then you need to close this. It should be covered completely, and then close it like this and preheat this for about 10 minutes on high. First 5 minutes on high, and then for the rest of the 5 minutes on low, because this should be very hot, not like cake, but for pav we need a very high temperature. So preheat it for 10 minutes and then remove the lid slowly, carefully, because it will be very hot, and then place your pav either in rectangular or round or whichever shape molds you have or whichever baking tray you have, and then as usual after the milk wash just place it like this and then cover with the lid this way. Or if it is a round tin, let me show you that also. Keep it like this. Be very careful, it will be very hot. Remember that the spacing should be around 1 inch at the sides, and then close it with the lid. And then on medium flame you need to bake it for around 35 to 40 minutes. But please check once at around 30 to 35 minutes. If it has browned beautifully on top, then you can stop baking at that time and put off the flame and let it cool down sufficiently before you can remove it out of the kadai. Then you can follow the same procedure as in OTG, which I will be showing you next. Pav is ready now. Wow, look at that. What a beauty. I have just put it on a cooling rack. See how beautifully they are done. I'm just going to brush them with butter. You need to do this as soon as you remove it out of the oven. That will give it a beautiful sheen, and it will become soft also. You need to again cover this and keep it for about 10 minutes or till it cools down. Just look at the sheen from this and the ones in which I have not applied. Wow, the freshly baked pav is wafting so beautifully. The joy of baking is in this, getting to smell the fresh pav. I have covered it and kept so that it remains soft and the pav doesn't dry up. Pav have sufficiently cooled down. Let's just loosen the sides with a knife. Flip them. Extremely soft back. See? Isn't that good enough? Home baked pav. Just look at that. Beautiful. I consider myself to be lucky, I can bake my own pav at home and enjoy the fresh hot pav with family. Wow. Look at that. See how it's springing back? Check out this. So beautiful. See? Better than what we get in the bakery. Very soft. The joy of being a baker is having homemade bread, hot and fresh from the oven with homemade bhaji is fantabulous. Just go ahead and try it, and if you like the recipe, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your family and friends. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.